You wake up and it's January 1st, 2020. Retaining all knowledge since then. How do you change the outcome of the year? I move my car so it doesn't get towed like it did on January 1st. The beginning of the butterfly effect that started all this mess. Actually, there's more. After we got the car back, we went to eat Chinese food. Then we went skiing. So basically Chinese food was involved and it was downhill ever since. Take my beeping up vote and leave my site. Stand in the middle of town with a piece of cardboard with "the end is nigh" written on it in a sharpish, shouting at people about how the rapture is coming. That oughta to do it. You mean dimensional merge? As an individual, there's not a damn thing I can do to change the general outcome. The only thing I can do is use the knowledge for my own personal advantage. Tesla stock would be the most obvious one. But I'd also use the extra time to ward off health complications. I'd quit smoking that day instead of in mid-September. And I would immediately start eating better and watching my salt intake. I had a minor stroke in early November. So changing my habits 10 months early might prevent that from happening. Radical lifestyle changes 10 months in advance would definitely have completely prevented or at least reduced your health complications. Hindsight really is something. I say this as a smoker and pizza eater. Speep. I eat pizza too. Beep, I'm eating pizza right now. I'm not. Would gladly suffer a minor stroke in exchange for some pizza. I bet it all on the Jets to beat the Rams. That way, I get to suffer through the entire year and have a big hoorah at the end. The Jets see that one person in the world bets on them. They get too cocky and lose the game. With my luck, that would 100% happen. Start applying at other jobs immediately and quit my current one before May. That's when those assholes told me they were taking my $1.25 extra away and docking me for the overpayment for the past 5 months. Beep that. I just finished my thesis. I'm not pouring hundreds of hours again into that. Wouldn't it be faster since you wrote it once already? Well, yes. Kinda. But I don't want to write those 80 pages in a scientific language ever again. I'll do it for you, but in funny language. Great. Do you know anything about embedded systems and CAN? I've seen this question so many times that maybe I am continuously waking up on the 1st of January, 2020. Groundhog Day. Suwa, put your little hand in my ear. There ain't no hill or mountain. We can't move to New Zealand. I have the issue that even with all the knowledge I still wouldn't have the money to move or even visit New Zealand. I dump all my money into Tesla stocks and quit my job undefined. Edit 2. Seriously, I typed this like 8 hours ago while taking a speep. There were loads of other good stocks. You could have made a lot of money buying the March dip is basically my point. See. This is why I'm memorizing the winning numbers for a lottery draw. May as well get ahead. Right? Knowing me, I'd buy the ticket for the drawing after that. I mean, Powerball is what, 2x a week? Just remember the numbers and play them every single draw until you've won. Cost you 104 worst case if it's the last draw of the year. I'm investing in Tesla, Zoom and Instacart. Then grabbing my entire family and hopping the next flight to New Zealand. Bitcoin grew quite a lot too. Diversifying is only risk reduction. Find whatever grew the most and invest everything in it. You already know the outcome. Exactly. With perfect foresight. Buying anything but whatever grew the most is wasted opportunity. There's probably a minor crypto coin that grew 20 0.000% or something. It can't be too minor because then it might have a significant impact on the market. It is a parallel timeline, not the same. You could probably purchase millions in Tesla stock without anyone noticing, but if the market is too small there may be a different outcome. I'd tell my mom not to go for that contrast dye CT scan. She went into anaphylactic shock and passed away 24 hours later. Ugh, that's terrible. I'm sorry. Having been in anaphylactic shock before, I know there is no gray area. You get through it or you don't. I was at an allergy clinic and they gave me 2 epinephrine shots. But things weren't looking good for a bit. Sorry for your loss. Considering what I learned about someone a few moments ago, I'd warn them to not peep around in their lab during the end of November/beginning of December. Friend died December 1st from a lab accident. Monitor fell on their foot. Then medical complications and they died. Actually sad. Just learned about it now. Isn't that how the DXX creator died? Weird. That is who I was referring to, and I just learned this morning he died December 1st. I haven't spoken to him since Sept and we spent an hour on the phone bull speeping about drones and his ideas for them and the Dodd. That's him though. He had all sorts of crazy ass ideas that I actually loved listening to and thought he could pull off. Well, considering no one would believe me, make the same stock trades as Congress. If I could go back, I would talk to my dad every single day. He just passed away unexpectedly a couple weeks ago and I miss him. Hugs, I'm sorry for your loss. I run the beep away from everyone and build a secluded shack in the woods away from society. Invest in Zoom. Buy toilet paper. Smuggle some face masks and hand sanitizer. 2. Go and stay over at my GFS house a day before lockdown and get stuck there for the foreseeable future. I know a lot of people that got stuck in lockdown with their partners that are now no longer with those partners because of it. Going from not living with each other to 24/7 with each other is a strain some relationships just can't take. Hell, it was hard even for couples living together already. It's one thing to live together but still have lives outside each other. It's another to work from home and have to stay at home because even if you wanted to do something everything was closed. I would get my mom a plane ticket to come visit in February so that I could get married instead of having to put off a wedding 2 times indefinitely because both my mom and Mill can't bear the idea of us eloping. It's been a really scary year. Constantly being worried about what would happen if either of us lost a job / health insurance or fell gravely ill without the legal protections of being married. Maybe I'm projecting since my sister lost her partner this year in the midst of rescheduling their wedding, but elope and don't tell them. I'm so sorry for your loss. We've got plans to go down to the courthouse if things don't improve in a few months. If that happens, I'll be thinking of you, kind internet stranger. My son postponed his wedding earlier this year. As a parent, let me also advise you to get married ASAP. Don't tell the family. Have a wedding for them later. But get legally protected now. Please. Yes. The marriage JS for the couple. No one else. If nothing, go get your papers signed and make it official. Tell the fam you will have a family event when everything gets back to normal. Remember, the marriage is for you and the so. No one else. Find Doc. Get in the DeLorean and go further back in the because it's too late to stop COVID-19 by then. Also, load up on psychedelic penny stocks which are starting to blow up. Quit my essential job and get a non-essential one instead so I can make more money off the 600/WK unemployment benefits while not having to expose myself to the general public every damn day. Then invest mad cash as soon as the stock market tanks. I recently lost a friend, and if I could have stopped that, the year would be a hell of a lot better. I would get my dad to a hospital as soon as possible. We would have 30 days to treat him and possibly prevent the stroke that took his life. I miss and think about him every day, especially coming into the holidays. I would prevent my mother from breaking her leg that ultimately led to her decline and death. Like you/ecosystems said, I liquidate, borrow and dump everything into Tesla. Next, I write out everything that will happen that year. I write it on paper and post it on my socials and write it up in a Reddit post. I let the posts get downvoted and lost in obscurity until the chain of events began. People will take notice of it. Investors will use it as a guiding tool. The news will want to interview me. I will only send them cryptic replies back and deny in-person interviews. I will then write a book about my experience being sent back in time. And then make public appearances to promote it. Give answers and make. I'll make 100% accurate prophecies and get rich AF. I actually work hard in school so that I don't flunk up my junior year the following school year. At last. Someone thinking the same way. Where I live, 10th grade is a crucial year and it defines you and the future you will have. I had started studying really well in the 1 month of actual school, and by the time online school started, I lost all motivation. I only actually studied for a month since April. I have wasted 8 months of my life. I have never felt more like Speep, and I don't think I know how to study and retain information anymore. I feel the same exact way. Bro. Once we went online, I just completely lost motivation. If class got boring, I could just browse social media on my phone. If we had homework, I could work on it during other classes. I'm in a few AP classes, so it's a really high standard, and once you miss an assignment, the amount of overdue work just builds up. Now, I'm failing 2 of my classes and I have C's and B's in courses that I should be doing really well in. It's really depressing. My parents are disappointed in me and my teachers keep emailing me because they think I'm suicidal or something. I know it's all my fault for letting my laziness and procrastination get the better of me. But honestly, beep the virtual learning. It would be so much easier if things went back to normal. Yep. Tried to pay attention for a week or 2 and then completely gave up. I've had a few 100-mark exams and I've cheated in every single one of them, and it's extremely depressing. The sad part is that I know I'm smart enough to get better marks than what I'm getting by cheating if I work just a bit harder. Just want a complete redo of this year. Best of luck to you, mate. Hope you do better than whatever I'm doing. I am trying to do better though. So there's that.